Thanks for staying with us. You're watching What Now? We move over to the United States of America with a look into gun violence. Now, the discussion starts from the latest incident in Michigan that led to the death of 4 persons in a shooting in a church. 8 persons were also injured after a gunman drove a vehicle into the church, opened fire and set the building ablaze. Some persons are still unaccounted for. The suspect, identified as Thomas Sanford, was later shot dead by police in the building's car park. Reports say a local politician named Chris Jones revealed that the suspect previously expressed a hatred of Mormons because they, quote, believe they are above Jesus, and referred to followers of the faith as, quote, the Antichrist. Authorities have described the incident as an act of targeted violence. Firearm violence has been a public health tragedy affecting communities across the United States. Figures from Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health revealed that in 2023, 46,728 people died by firearms in the United States, and that's an average of 1 death every 11 minutes. Officials have called for an end to the rising cases of gun violence in the U.S.
As a state, we know the pain of this too well. We've seen gun violence in our schools, stores, parades, festivals, and our houses of worship. These are places that we go to feel connected, to feel safe, to be together. But today, this place has been shattered by bullets and broken glass. And this might be a familiar pain, but it hurts all the same. Every time. We cannot keep living our lives like this.
I'm joined now by Olajide Ayeni. He's a state trooper, Department of Public Safety, Texas, USA. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So I wanted to start this with some statistics out there by Gun Violence Archive, which what they do is to account for all instances of gun violence in which 4 or more people were shot. And that's not including the shooter, regardless of the location. And for them, they reported over 300 mass shootings this year alone in the U.S. Just help us put this into proper context, why there is an increase, as it were, in gun violence in the U.S.
First of all, it's saddening that we're experiencing such at this moment. So I think the legislative arm of governments are not doing enough because they are unable to really agree on a bipartisan terrain to get these things sorted out. So the reason why we have this huge number of shooting is because people in authority have not done enough to get it done. They've tried, but it seems it's not working.
And then we're also seeing now more of, it used to be school, as sad as that is, school-related violence. But now there is the religious angle to it, and then also politically motivated attacks. Also speak to us, in terms of, does that speak to how divided the U.S. is now?
It's everywhere. Division is everywhere. Political division, religious division is everywhere. But either we like it or not, the reality is that. So if somebody's mental health capacity is low with extreme ideology, it needs to be fished out. So there's no way in a democratic setting there will not be political divide. But the bottom line is the ability of those in power to come together and solve a problem, especially in this gun violence of a thing. So if bipartisan way, if they can't solve a problem, there's still problem with it. So,
and I agree with you, Mr. Ayeni, that the divisiveness is everywhere. But rarely do you find in other countries where people pick guns to kill their opponents or someone who has an ideology that they do not support. It is more, often done in the U.S. compared to other countries. And so I'm wondering if this is a mental health issue or a hate issue.
Yeah, you're right partially, but at the same time not, because U.S. is a country of is data driven. Anything that happens even to a dog will be documented. So I will not agree that it's paramount much in the United States. Let's say, for instance, Nigeria. You know how many people kill along Ibadan to Lagos without no data?
Just a minute. Apologies for butting in. I am not saying there is no insecurity in every other country. I mean, Nigeria is dealing with its own insecurity, but there's a difference between terrorism and hate crime. And what we're seeing more, you are talking about it as a mental health issue. I'm asking you, if someone decides to kill somebody else because of their ideology, should that be seen as a mental health issue or as a hate crime?
It's both. It's both. So let human being, nobody want to die. That's the first thing I want to put across. So somebody pick a gun, try to hurt somebody and kill somebody who is human like him or her. We have to tailor it to something is wrong somewhere. That's where the mental suffering, especially people that have come from the military, the PTSD, if they are not well treated, it'd be like somebody speaking to them to do something. So a normal human being will not pick a gun. I want to carry out a mass shooting and kill people. So because of their mental capacities and extreme ideology that the social media has one way or the other supported, instead of taking such down, you know, a lot of people get the ideology online because somebody became an hero in their own perspective. All these social media companies need to take such down. So people will not have access to stuff like that that can influence them to do what they are doing, killing people.
And what has you mentioned this earlier that it is a legislative issue, and I'm wondering why this has not prompted the U.S. Congress to tighten gun controls.
So I've said earlier, the partisan agreement is not that solid yet because of the law of 1968 about gun control. So some parts are looking at it that if you legislate this, you are taking my right from me. I know. Remember, United States is a state. I mean, it's a country of law. So, and the legislature have to be careful to interpret with the provision of the law. But again, they have to do their best. You know, they have to compare the effect, the triple effect of safety and leaving the law as it is. And people keep dying. They have to do something. So, but because of there's no bipartisan agreement to put things in perspective, make it difficult. So at the level of the states have to still formulate their own laws or orders within the purview of the larger constitution. Like in Michigan, they have this red tag law that was enacted and came to effect in February 2024. But in this case, it doesn't apply to this because it's limited to the home. Nobody should carry an assault rifle in his vehicle or around. Most of the states allow that. That will limit the potential for mass shooting. If it is just a pistol, people can still wrestle with somebody with a pistol. But people with an assault rifle who they know I can carry this anywhere, and that should stop, in my opinion anyway.
I mean, it's one cannot say that the Michigan shooting is the last one, but we hope that, you know, the U.S. does something to at least tighten gun controls. Thank you so much for your time. State Trooper, Department of... You know,
within few hours to the Michigan shooting, one happened in South Carolina, happened in Texas. 2 people died in Texas. So thank you for having me on this program.
Thank you, State Trooper, Department of Public Safety, Texas, USA, Olajide Ayeni. A pleasure to always have you on.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right, that's the word now. This is where we'll leave it. Thank you so much for watching.